Yeah, we live.
Hey, what up, sis?
What's up, everybody on Facebook? We're just getting started.
Yeah,
Y'all go ahead and tune in.
my life is good. How about y'all's?
It's living good, man. Blessed. Blessed, man.
Yes. So let's get into it, y'all. Welcome to Live from 805. I'm your boy DJ Wiz.
And I'm your host, 759. It is 8/19/18. Red day all
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Stuff.
Year's almost over.
Yeah, year's almost over, and I'm just rushing it. I want to shout out to everybody on our Facebook. We got 4 cameras going, so please, y'all, be sure to either tune in to our guest, John Smith, aka Teflon John. I'm gonna call you Teflon Don.
Yep.
So John Gotti.
Just don't call me late for dinner. We good.
We also got his son, Teflon Vori, in the building.
Teflon Vori.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Scoot
Just
in.
a little bit more.
Yeah, we scoot in.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having us on here, man. It's real good look, man. I like what y'all do.
We
Appreciate
appreciate you
appreciate
coming
what
through.
what y'all do, because it's good for the culture and it's good for the movement that you can see happening, to where like you're really cutting out the third party and really doing things for yourself to get your own content out and not relying on other people.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got to. In this day and age, we can't keep, relying on middle people to, jump in on to capitalize on what we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of good to have some type of middle person there, but when you have a group
Within reason.
Yeah.
you have a group of people that's either trying to change your direction or your demographic is whatever, they just take it a whole different direction of everything. So
That's why I think it's good to really know know your vision, because when people come in like with some necessities, like I'm in need of some equipment. Pretty sure y'all can use some equipment. Everybody could always upgrade, but you don't want to compromise your vision for somebody else's agenda just to get what you need. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so that's why I'm like, I already got my mind made up. Like, I would have to respectfully decline anything that's going to change the vision that I have for what I'm doing.
Right.
Before we go any further, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you can't watch us on live, you can always come in and view us. Follow us on Mixler at WWENG-radio. Go ahead and follow us and listen to our live mixes with the boy DJ Wiz here.
Yeah.
He make it look so easy. And you can always go back and listen to our past shows and our past mixes. And also, we want to shout out our people at Woodwork. Shout out to the big homie EQ. Shout out to Eric Magasin, Smiley, and the whole Woodworks family. So
Yes, sir.
What's up?
Yes, sir.
Shout out to our sis, Mycole Lachey. She had a late night, so, she couldn't hang with us today. Busy woman, forever doing something.
Yes.
But shout out to the sis. Like I said, if y'all just tuning in with us, we got Teflon John and his son Teflon Vori in the building. We're going to go ahead and get into this good old interview. So, for those that don't know, John and I have known each other for a very long time. John has known Wiz for a very long time, since, Glass days.
Yes, Lord.
And shout out to
Glass.
Shout out to
Go
Glass.
Big Blue. Go Big Blue, y'all.
Big Blue.
Y'all already know.
Coach Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Shifty.
Shout out to Shifty, yo.
Shout out to Shifty.
Because actually, I'm going to tell y'all something real quick
yeah,
about Shifty. Shifty actually hit me when I was in high school. He was hearing that, I had a couple mixtapes out.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, why don't you get on radio? He said, I do
He
radio.
never had
And I was like,
radio.
I never knew he did Vibe 100.
Yeah.
And he was on it. I was like,
He did that traffic jam.
yeah. And I was like, dang, man, if I'd have just got with him, if I would just got with him during high school, I don't know where I would be.
But that's the thing,
Definitely
though. I think
sports.
that's something that we weren't exposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like, as young African Americans, I think when you're in school, you're only exposed to like the typical job opportunities. Like, no one knew, like, we all knew DJing from what we saw on TV, but no one knew like the radio side. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't really a possibility.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think, and I remember him saying that he had to work at the radio station even when he coached me in football. But it's kind of crazy that if you can travel back, it's like, yo, let me soak up whatever knowledge you got. But now it's like, oh, this is what he was doing.
And now
This is
everything
impact.
is at our fingertips thanks to Google and internet,
Yeah.
And we had it then, you know what I'm saying? But nobody really took the time to sit and just research what it took to run a radio station,
Well,
run a radio show.
If you think about it, not that there's no other high school, but Glass really elevates more of their art.
Yeah.
If you notice. We got, I don't know if you noticed that, I keep saying in every episode that we got a hip-hop class that's being produced out of Glass.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Ram City
You know what I'm saying?
Records.
Shout out to Mr. Casey Woods.
Shout out to Casey.
Like I
didn't
said,
know that.
I said that like I knew. Shout out.
I mean, because
Say that like
it
I
was
knew.
so weird because, like I said, I knew a mutual teacher there, and he had brought the idea to me. Was like, won't you come in and teach the kids about hip hop as far as the DJing side?
Mm-hmm.
So when I did my part of that, it made it seem like all eyes was glowing. Like they didn't believe like I came straight out of Glass with this type, this mindset. And I was like, well, it was times at Glass when we used to beat on the tables and
lockers.
Miss Morrison used to be right at the door. We like, hey, Mr. Luck and Mr. Quell, God rest his soul, used to be right there at the door.
Mm-hmm.
And they look like, oh, it's gonna be gang activity. No, it was just pure art. So as it grew and grew more and more, they decided, to go to Lynchburg city schools and just propose a course as far as teaching hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the grant for it. They're still growing as we speak. And I'll let them know about you too, because we got to keep it alma mater. You know what I'm saying?
But that'll work though, man, because it's that's something that I've always wanted to know. Yeah.
See, and that's the thing. Black Op is actually got history.
Yeah,
and listen.
Man, we got to pull back the archives. We got to pull the archives.
That's what I said. He got votes, man, and people.
You about to learn some things about your dad today.
Trust me.
You're gonna learn today.
He, like I said, he was doing it like I say really way before I was. He was more advanced. Yeah. Because the sounding that he had was so clear.
But what's crazy, man? Like a lot of people didn't realize until they came to my grandmother's attic. It was like the upstairs.
Yeah.
They thought I had like some type of Pro Tools 24-track mix. I had 8 tracks.
Mm-hmm. 2
of those tracks were taken up by the beat, left and right audio. So I had 6 tracks and still could record 3 people on there, hooks, overdubs, and everything. But I think that, me not having a lot really taught me to be creative. Mm-hmm. But I always think like, if that time was now, cause you know how easy it is to put out music now? I mean,
if you can really with
the push of a button, man.
Because when Black Eye was out, you had to really research A&Rs, and everything was about the demo tape. Please listen to my demo. But now, SoundCloud and YouTube, you got your own distribution set up. And you can sell music and just do lives and Instagram and really build your own following and really get people to, okay, I'm going to give out this free music, but I'm going to make money once you book me on the show. See, back then, because y'all remember, like, you had to actually have talent.
Yeah.
And I ain't dissing anybody, but you had to have talent, like...
But he's speaking real.
Some of your best rappers didn't make it because either regular labels wouldn't fill them or they just weren't talented enough.
Yeah.
It wasn't no gimmick. You know what I'm saying? I think you remember that old joint, Video Killed the Radio Star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was just basically saying, like, back then it was just music, vocals. So you had a good sound. But now when they introduce video, you gotta look a certain way, be a certain way. Yeah. But I think nowadays, like, kids don't understand. If you use the fast forward time, rewind time, and drop some of these kids back in, like, 90s, early 2000s, it would, they'd be like, get out of here with that. They would call it bubblegum rap.
And not only that, too, because, I mean, like, that's why the hip-hop course is being taught as far as Glass, because Mr. Woods actually take them back to the 80s first. He introduced them to, like, Public Enemy,
man.
Digital Underground, Tupac, when he started, not the Tupac that's revolutionary, like the Tupac that started. And he really gets deep in it. He let the students express themselves as far as lyric content. It's like not, they can curse, but, the N-word was acceptable because that's the only way that he saw the urbanized kids can express themselves. So they're going there and they do it. And like when I met a couple of students there, it shocked me though, you know what I'm saying? Some of them didn't know the dynamics of battling. They were just like, if you rap, you just rap. I rap, I just rap. Nah, it was like, no, you got to really break it down. You gotta start talking about the dude's shoes, the way he look.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was just like that. So, like I said, you got history, I got history, Shannon got history. For you to be the youth right now, you the future. You gotta understand even if you want to be in hip hop or even if you want to be in media, somewhere down the line, you gotta go ahead and research somebody's history.
Gotcha.
Because, like, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people don't know, a lot of things about other people's behind the scenes. Like I said, you got Black Ops. I had T Hill Entertainment. Shannon has her thing going on.
VSOP and all of them.
So, we was all united at one. Yeah. I mean, Big Body, Liquid Acid, Big Trail, and like I told her about how Trail was doing it, and our assistant, Lakeisha, was like, I didn't know he rap. I'm like,
Yeah.
a
lot of the personalities around here in Lynchburg, they all started rapping.
Yeah,
first.
and because I remember, like when I got, I had a Zoom rhythm track, RT-123.
I had one.
And
too.
it was me and Jeff Bell. Like Jeff Bell, we went to school together. So
Shout out to Big Pimp.
they was in a group that my aunt was managing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, always being around it, helping out or whatever. And I was like, man, I want to get into making beats, whatever. My cousin, Chris, she was DJing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just was always around it. Then once I got to making beats, Eric, what I'm saying, Kane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? God rest his soul. But he had showed me how to make beats and sample using the Zoom sample track, ST224.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, and I never forget, once I got into that craft of manipulating beats. And it's an art, you know what I mean? Because I used to make aggressive music. I love aggressive music. The music, the way it was meant to be heard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not watering it down. But at the same time, I think that going back to class, it gives kids an outlet. Because I would rather them express themselves in the classroom and learn how to articulate
and
that
learn it the right
in some
way.
type of art form than
Right
going that old boy up the street and now be watching the news. And it's another tragedy.
Yeah.
So it's one thing to complain about our youth in Lynchburg and our young African American males, but it's another thing to actually give them an outlet for that energy.
Right.
And
You know what I'm
speaking of young African American males,
What's going on?
what's your plans for the future? I know you're just 13. You got a
Yes,
whole
sir.
life ahead of you. So what do you plan on doing? What is your interest now, as a young guy?
Really, right now, it's like sort of like science. It's not really, how can I explain this? It's more chemistry related.
Oh, okay.
Not really. It's chemistry, but I'm trying to focus on football, pursue my main dream, and I have something to fall back on. In case
Right,
I
exactly.
go to waste.
See, that's smart.
Man,
Smart.
what plans show that? Hey,
Chemistry.
don't let nothing stop you, bro. I'm
My
tell you
God,
now.
yes.
Do not let nothing stop you.
And it's good, man, I think, for the youth. Because I tell him all the time, I don't shoot nobody's dream.
Yo, shout out to Race Bannon, yo. He just pulled up an archive or something. He said all black Jeep, Teflon, and Race Bannon.
Oh, yeah.
See, look.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cuzzo, man.
Yeah, man, because we used to record. People used to come up to my grandma's spot, man. We used to put in work.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we used to put in work. But it's crazy, man, because like I said, because I remember when we was his age and people older would tell us, either complain about our music being different from theirs.
Yeah.
But now you see the generation, I guess with his generation, I feel for him more so than ours, because I think the entitlement, man, is crazy. Because he'll tell you, yo, I tell him all the time, you can be anything you want to be, with hard work and dedication.
Yes.
You ain't gonna just wake up and say, yo, I want to do this, and
boom.
now I'm gonna raise you to the point to where, yo, you should feel entitled. No. You can do anything you want to do with hard work, and I think in this generation of youth, we're doing a bad job as parents telling them they can get what they want,
Right.
they can be what they want, and then when somebody says no, they wild out. But we're not telling them, yo, you with hard work, put in the work, you know what I'm saying, you put in the dedication, you can get everything you want.
And not only do they wild out, they end up quitting. They give up easily because they see that it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that when we grew up, when we was coming up, everything we either had to read it, we had to find it some way. We still had dictionaries and encyclopedias. We didn't have the internet.
You had to go through a lot of things
You
too,
go through a lot.
and as far as what you're trying to go through.
Man, that sound old just now.
I mean, no, we have to try
That's
but
real.
I'm
We can flip through pages.
Exactly, but like I said, don't ever give up as far as whatever you're going for, because
But that's a smart move, though.
people will give you false hope and false dreams.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you, oh yeah, but I can put you this place. I can give you
Mhm.
this. You know what I'm saying? Without researching them.
Right.
That's why I say, for far as my position when I did stuff, I had DJs that used to tell me, yo, I can put you in the studio. I can get you over there at Def Jam. I can get you at such and such. We can
Pipe
review
dreams.
these. Pipe
dreams.
And I'm sitting up here like a young cat like you. I'm just like, all right, man, yeah, I hear you. But I kept going. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never let nothing stop me. And to this day, like I said, I'm 30 now, so you see what I'm doing.
And you finally realized the people that were selling you dreams was all just a bunch of BS at the end of the day.
It was scammers, man. You can always have scammers, whatever.
They out there now scamming.
It's some people love talking, man. It's because I remember a point where I was guilty of, I just loved talking about what I was going to do.
Right.
To the point to where my feet weren't moving. And I had to realize, like, like the Bible speaks about not letting your right hand know what your left hand doing. So sometimes you got to get out there and do it because, like, growing up, I used to love the X-Men. You remember? And Charles Xavier, he used to put, Professor X. He put everybody in a school, all those gifted kids. Because you remember, like, in the world wasn't ready for people with powers, mutants or whatever. And sometimes I think, like, us with dreams, like y'all with the radio, me doing, what I'm doing, people trying to start their own business. A lot of times when you talk to people that are non-visionaries, they don't understand what you're trying to do, so they'll shoot it down. And that's every day. You need to get you a job. You know what I'm saying? So what I try to teach him, as well as like other kids that I coach and everything, like, you don't have to do what society says. Society sets these standards. Remember, we were programmed. Like at Glass, you have career day, and you would think about, I go to school, I graduate, I go to college, I graduate and get a good job. But now, like when I look back at that, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna pay all this money to be a glorified worker. So why not go to school, graduate? If I want to go to college, whatever, learn whatever, so I can own a business and put my people on. You see what I'm saying? Because if I'm gonna spend and go $60,000 to $80,000 in debt to become a worker for somebody else, that's backwards. When foreigners come to this country, they come and with their entrepreneurial spirit, that they gonna own a business.
Right.
They not coming over here to apply for what you got. We end up working for them. And what's crazy is it's just I think they're not taught that. Like we have a broken principle. So even he's in that same system. I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna go to college, so I can get it. I'm gonna become an engineer or get a good job. I'm gonna get your own engineering firm. You know what I'm saying? Like school, I think school fails our kids with a certain aspect that they don't prepare them to be entrepreneurs.
It's a lot that don't tell you.
And they prepare them just to be workers.
Right, and that's all that is, man. I mean, even down to, when I found out the journey of where I wanted to go, because I was so passionate about music. They didn't have nothing specifically for my hip hop life. Everything had to be pushed together as far as you got rock, you got country, you got bluegrass, you got this, you got that. So I took bits and pieces of the knowledge and learned, like as far as law and the behind the scenes parts and things like that. But when they start to get to thinking, you have to learn how to put a full front of house mixer together with the snake and this, that, and the third, and you got to do it within a minute's of time, because what if you was at a concert? I said, listen, hold on, first of all, my mind ain't set to be, I'm going to put this together on a concert. I would have people that is in line to pay for it, that make sure my stuff is put together. But the teacher had to argue with me as far as, well, you're in the wrong field, and I don't know why you think you will be in this field. You're never going to make no money out of it. So I was like, crushed as a student, like, I'm giving you my money, my hard-earned money to pay you to teach me, and you gonna tell me directly.
You had your vision, but they saw otherwise.
You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't positive. I mean, you had some, but the majority of the ones that was just, I guess, looking at it as like, oh, I'm gonna check, or this ain't really what I really wanted to do, but I'm doing it as a favor or something. You know what I'm saying? It makes you wonder with college, or even with down to the public school systems, the motivation, the integrity that they have.
It's really failing us, man.
They're failing, man.
I think it's failing us because think about everything that we're doing now. Outside of a basic accounting as an elective, they didn't prepare us. Like, they don't even teach you about credit in school.
They don't.
So imagine doing what we're doing now. If through a high school curriculum, we learned about how, LLCs, corporations, we learned about balancing checkbooks, we actually learned about investment stocks. You don't learn any of that. So when you come out of school, you are actually trained to go and accrue debt. You don't even learn principal interest.
Yeah, a lot of us have put ourselves in that position. I mean, we had parents that said, "Oh, no, don't get that," because I'm looking at my situation.
And half of them didn't know until it happened.
Exactly.
And then you become a product of learned behavior, because it's one thing for me to teach you, but it's another thing for you to learn because you just learn what you see. You know what I'm saying? Like even down to like for an example, if you research slavery and what slaves had to eat and how they mastered eating the pig different ways, because that's all they had. We do the same thing now. Nobody taught us that. It's just learned behavior. It's just passed down, passed down, and passed down. So I think until like somebody breaks the cycle or opens up to a new way of thinking. But now, if you open up to a new way of thinking, then you a square. You're like, yo,
Yeah.
like this one, because one day, like, the light bulb goes off. You're like, yo, why we gotta do this? Or why do I have to have a pair of $200 Jordans?
Mm-hmm.
I really like what's the Adidas you like?
The MDs.
Yeah, I really like the MMDs, but because society says I must have a pair of Jordans to be accepted, this is what I go spend money on. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're all programmed to think, move, and maneuver in certain ways, and we haven't even really realized it.
Yeah, it was like that heavy in our school.
Yeah, because you remember, like, if you ain't come, like, geared up, man,
yeah,
it was a long
I was a victim of not having the gear.
Yeah, and it was
I got it as I got older,
Yeah.
but at the
I mean,
time,
I was a victim of because my dad had me like that for a long time though. But he also made me realize, you know, I work hard to give you, you know, what I gave you. So you know, I'm teaching.
And it made a long school day for kids.
Yeah,
man.
and he was like, I'm teaching you now. Just because what you got on don't make you think that you're granted to get this. You know what I'm saying?
And then check it out though. So you got to where you can break down $70 pair of American Eagle jeans, $200. You know what I'm saying, for some J's. So that's $270. So you throw in another $40 shirt, you get $310.
for one outfit.
But then you go on your savings account, $10.
Exactly.
Or I'm doing a radio show. I really need another mic. Now I ain't paying all that money for that mic. Or I ain't paying all that money for another lens for my camera. But I'm wearing it now. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, our value system.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yes,
what
value system's
what are you
different.
putting your money into? Like you putting your money in stuff that'll burn, fade. Shoes won't be here like for what, you know, depending on how you take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing that you can do and take those shoes and really get money back off of them.
Right.
So I just think like part of what I try to do really, man, is provoke thought with our people, because over the last year, like I've learned about credit and improving my credit, man, and just doing things so that way, like doing like the long game. I realized for what I want to do, I'm gonna have to have all that stuff in line so I can get what I want without having to rely on somebody else giving me something,
Right.
and there be strings attached.
Right.
I want to be in the best position financially where I can do my own thing and help who I want to help, and it's not like, yo, well, I can give you $20,000 under these conditions. See, I don't have to go through that.
Yeah.
But like I said, in school, we didn't learn that.
No.
We didn't learn. Like, when
I
I learned what
I
credit
don't
was,
even think they taught us or even showed us a tax form, how to fill one out.
no, that's what I'm saying. It
They
didn't.
damn show you how to
and
fill
most
They
of us
showed you how to
weren't.
fill out an application,
Yeah, that's what I'm
how to
saying.
do
Like,
a resume.
yeah,
And
most
that
of
ass
us.
did that.
Well,
Yeah.
they try to produce you as a worker. They don't want to
Yeah, that's
produce
what
you
I'm
as,
saying. It's,
as a Fortune 500 CEO. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not what your investment's for.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, not saying us as the investment, but you got to look at the hierarchs. And I'm gonna be honest. This is my theory too. I mean, most of the hierarchs know who they want to choose.
Mm-hmm.
They know who they want to put in higher power. They know who they want to have up next. Because if you notice, and I hate to be racial
Let's
about
go
a lot of
there,
shit.
but
I
let's
hate
go
to be
there.
racial a lot of stuff though, but I mean it's just obvious,
yeah,
man.
Be real.
You have a predominantly black neighborhood, even down to 5th Street, even down to Main Street, all the way on up until you hit Memorial Avenue. Then it's migrated mix. You know, you have your lower class whites, and then you have the predominantly black. Of course, Darrington and all over. Once you cross that line where glass ends, it kind of gets a little bit more richer.
Oh yeah.
If you notice, like up and down Sandusky, Thomas Road,
Yeah.
all that, it started to look middle class. You go further up, you got Timberlake, you got Wards Road.
Even further than that, you got Forbes.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, and then that's what
And it's demographically.
the demographics is crazy.
Demographically, it's true, because if you look at it, the African American dollar is spent in the most companies. You know what I'm saying? Like well, people that don't look like us. So if you name name a fast food restaurant, like some of the biggest, most popular ones. Taco Bell, McDonald's, Wendy's. If you watch any commercial, it's hip hop music in the background. Like you're marketing that stuff directly to us. You know what I'm saying? We went shopping for school in the Nautica outlet because they was like they had shirts like $9, but then you look on the screen, they got Lil Yachty up there. So you marketing everything to the black community. Because see, the thing is like we don't like to invest our dollar; we like to give it right back. So I'm gonna struggle to make $8 an hour, and then as soon as I get paid, I'm putting that money right back. You know what I'm saying? Instead of investing, which, like I said, learned behavior. We don't know the value of investing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
it took some cat that I just met from up north, up in Northern Virginia. He was telling me like, yo, if you're trying to make the real serious money, have you ever thought about investing stock? My mind blew because I was like, stocks, because I always hear about it in school.
Yeah.
But
And
you
I never knew what the heck it
never
was.
knew what it was, how to read it.
They was like, you know, you got to know what a ticker is. You got to know what this is.
Yeah.
They don't teach you the ceiling or, you know.
You gotta know when to
all
sell,
that.
you gotta
It was
know
like an
when to
after-school
buy.
program or like an elective. It wasn't anything mandatory. And I, in
But-
G, I don't think that's by chance.
Yeah, it's not by chance, but then at the same time, as far as you saying investing, that could have been a start for a lot of black kids to understand as far as if you invest in pharmaceuticals, you invest in automotives.
Technology.
It's you know, and now it's like, you know, back then it wasn't even available to us.
Yeah.
Now you can go on your phone and just download some type of
journal or
some type of Ameritrade and all that, and then you can start investing too. Like for real, me, I just started off with $10, and I'm gonna still continue to this day because this man had told me just try to build up your money to build up the equity. He was like, yo, anytime you got any extra cash, just dump it into that. Invest in something in pharmaceuticals, something more lifelong, not nothing short term or in a fad, because you don't wanna invest in like Fitbit. You know what I'm saying? Fitbit ain't nothing but a fad. It might go out within 5 years. So if that stock goes way down, you lost all your money.
Yeah.
So whether pharmaceuticals, like they come out with some type of new medicine and it might cure, let's say Parkinson's. It might cure something, you know, that was never cured, but it can cure it. And you start off and you seen that ticker go, you try to buy as many stocks as you can. Because he was like, you start off where the lowest point is, and then once you get into it, then you see big businesses try to come behind you to raise the ceiling. And I was like, yo, if I'd have had that means whatever they put into it would triple my worth. And I ain't had to put in that much. I'd have started off with like $2 some change. Now my stock is worth $200 and some odd dollars. He said that's the beauty of it. You watch what you do, because it's like even out in the streets, if you notice like if it's a hot rapper that's really focused, he'll pay attention. You know all the knowledge, and you trying to get him to a New York and Atlanta to a record deal, and you know these type of people looking for him, and you know the connection, and you invest all your time and everything else to him, and you bring him slightly down, and then the company started doing money into him. He's well your worth. You know what I'm saying? So that's what got me to open my mind. Was like, yo, maybe I should, you know, look into stocks and stuff. You know, at an early age. I'm 30. You know what I'm saying?
It's worth the investment. I think we all missed a great opportunity with Facebook. When Facebook was like, this thing's $8-12 a share. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like 40, 50, 60, maybe $120 a share. So I think now
I can put that out for you right now.
Any social media, like Facebook, when they bought Instagram, you know what I'm saying? So anybody who bought stock in Facebook early when it was cheap is really doing good. You know what I'm saying? But the next big thing to get involved in buying stock in is
started off $173 today.
Yeah, look at that. And it used to be like $12 to get in or something. 40.
It used to be low.
Yeah.
I mean, they used to start off $57.
Wow.
About 5 years later, they are worth $177.
Yeah, and
so that's what makes you think like.
And you look at it now. The next big thing to really invest in is voice and VR technology. Voice, because you got the Alexas, you got the Google Home, and VR technology. Because like I said, PS4 and Oculus are like really much scratching the surface. So those shares are going to be very cheap right now. But once they grow, because it'll be to the point years from now, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure when, but I'll be able to sit in my home and put the VR joint on. You'll be able to be here, and it'll feel like we sitting right across from each other doing an interview.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing is now is like getting on the front end of an investment when the stocks are low, because all they do is like if a company goes public and allows you to buy stock, they take that money and get what they need to get to invest to try to better the actual company.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a cool deal. I just think I wish I knew more about it early.
Get it? I know, but like I said, right now it's the time to try to get into it.
Yeah.
Because you know, I don't know whoever paying attention and all though, but we as black people need to go ahead and start looking at investing.
We gotta learn things like this.
Yeah, because I mean,
the music business isn't always going to be on our side.
No, it's not.
It's changing.
It's changing. And it's gonna come to a point where I noticed there's been a shift in the music where when we were coming up, you know, we had the Queen Latifahs and the NWAs and Tupac and Biggie. Nobody ever talked about, you know, or not that I knew of, that when we were able to really hear it, was talking about, you know, drug use and depression, like I spoke to you before. You know, soon we're gonna have a discussion on mental illness and the effects that, you know, the music industry plays on that, because he's coming up, he's 13, he's coming up to Uzi and Lil Pump and Lil Peep and Lil this and Lil that, and every single one of them are depressed. They're all popping any type of drug to.
It's manic, man.
It's nuts because you never hear that back in the day that any rapper was depressed.
And see, we didn't have social media either.
And that is
so
true.
You look at like social media. I think no kid should have access to social media until they can like. I would rather see kids drink at early age than have social media. And I know that's very controversial to say, but social media is something that where kids can't digest the attention. Where you got kids that are committing suicide because they didn't get enough likes. You got kids that, you know, like we talked about, couldn't afford like their parents can't afford the gear.
Yeah.
Someone takes a picture of them, and it's 2,000 kids comment, and they take their own life. You know what I mean? I think social media is it's a bad ground for kids mentally who are not ready for that amount of attention.
Because they're at the age of validation.
They
haven't come to the age of I just don't care what people think.
Yeah.
See, like referring back to your son, he's 13. When I was 13, you know, of course my 13 and his 13 are two totally different ages. But, you know, when I was coming up, you dealt with bullying, you fought, you did this, you did that. When we were coming up, nobody killed themselves.
Yeah, and nobody posted a picture you get bullied on.
Nobody did that. You just got talked about every day in school.
Yeah.
But, you know, now that he's coming up, he's got Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Foursquare, whatever the heck they got going on right now. And everybody is sharing these pictures, and these pictures are spreading. And say he didn't have the most flies, you know, haircut or whatever got going on. Next thing you know, young kid, 13, hadn't even, you know, lived life. And he's just, he's done and tired already at 13.
This is, you know, another thing, too, where we all got to understand as older black folks, we have to do more than mentor. You know, we have to be more but more active towards that life. You know what I'm saying? As far as digging deep, asking questions, relate to it. Even if you can't relate.
Talk to him
I hate to say falsify relating to it, but we've been there. We actually have been there, but it's just a different scale of living. You know what I'm saying?
But see, it's almost taboo now, and I really didn't want to get to the subject of mental illness, but it kind of sort of, it's taboo for black folks to even open up about, well, you know, this is bothering me, and this is bothering me, and this is bothering me. Because what they going to tell you, you crazy, just going to,
but at the
and
same
they really
time,
just shoot you off.
But at the same time, though, they got to understand, too, you know, we're not living in days where, you know, everything's going to be all right. It's really not.
It's
you know,
not.
now it's more open and prone now.
Yeah, it's different.
That more Americans, you know, can have mental illnesses and not even know it.
Yeah, because you got a lot of misdiagnosed mental illness. You know what I mean? Like that I would say amongst young kids. You got kids that say they're ADHD, and doctors are doing that to try to medicate them. But at the same time,
we didn't hear about it.
But you know, at the same time, like if you look at when he's 13, so when I look at what he had available at his age, I'm looking at him from 8 to now. If you look at when we was 8 to now, we had like a Sega Genesis. That was it. Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. Those only options. So they're always used to being occupied by a device. You know what I'm saying? Even when you cut the PlayStation off, you can get on your cell phone and still connect to people on your PlayStation. Even when your cell phone's off, you can get this other devices, other gadgets still chat.
Always something.
So a lot of kids now can't deal with downtime.
Yeah,
and
no idle time to them.
So I'm not saying that all kids are not ADHD. Some kids are. But I think the majority of them are being misdiagnosed because you just don't know how to sit still. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day at church, when we went to church, we sat there. There wasn't nothing you could do but sit there.
Yeah.
Now it's like, you give them an iPad. So it's like the problem is now, like, what does it? A child doesn't know how to just sit still and pay attention to what's going on. If they're not being consumed by some type of device or occupied, that's where the problem sets in.
And now our educational system is being run by technology. There's a school somewhere that is totally run off of computers, laptops, and tablets.
Yeah, and
There's
that's
no
how it
books,
is.
there's
Well,
no-
it's like that in North Carolina too. Most of that
Yeah, 'cause the
schools
money.
is like that. It's the money.
What's
Because you
going on?
remember Appomattox? So
Okay.
you remember we had like school tech was like
I think that
classroom
was
set
school
textbooks.
Tech-
And it was
Textbook,
crazy
yeah.
because you got all this money from the Virginia lottery, and these schools still suffering for like materials. You know what I'm saying? Registration, you buying all these crazy tissues and all that
I've
stuff.
seen the
but-
list for this year.
Yeah,
Holy
it's
crap.
wild, man. Like, every
I
time
hate
you
the
drive
tissue
by-
box.
What you like need with 40 boxes of tissue? It's just me.
I remember it was a point one teacher had told us if you didn't bring back a certain item that you would get detention. I said, well, look, I'm gonna go ahead and switch classes. I'm not gonna suffer
I mean, you
because you trying to be a stickler of having items in a class, especially if it ain't got pertain to my work.
But now that I'm older and I finally see the reason why the teachers ask so much, it's because they're not getting
They
paid
don't have,
enough.
yeah, they don't get anything because
And a lot of times they've had to dig into their own pockets.
Yeah.
My mother was a preschool teacher for 18 years, and sometimes she had to go into her own purse to provide for her classroom because the budget just wasn't there. And now more so, teachers can't even afford the chalk to write on the boards. So they're asking students, look, we need you to bring like 8 packs of colored pencils, 20 packs of chalk. We need.
Well, see, that's what they switching out the boards too. You getting dry erase boards now.
Yeah, dry erase.
So you getting dry erase boards because it's kids nowadays.
Because kids are allergic to chalk dust. Like who knew?
Well, it's true. I mean,
It's true.
It's like because I look at this at a psychological evaluation too. As far as some students might not they cringe at the sound of it might throw them off or it might set them off.
Yeah.
Or the chalk dust might make cough like he did, and he catch an asthma attack, and he laying on the floor. A parent gonna find, how did this happen? That just alleviate a lot of problems. Let's go ahead and get this dry erase board. Can't nobody be allergic to it. It's non-toxic.
Listen to
Yeah.
the
You know what I'm saying?
And that's just the evolution of
That's how you do it.
of technology. Remember, we had overhead projectors,
Yeah.
and then they got digital screens. So it's just the evolution.
Yeah.
My only problem with
I hated taking notes. Oh my goodness.
I love taking
my only problem with school is if you look at how everything's evolved. When we was in school, it was like I don't think we had cell phones like some of them.
If we
So
did,
It kind of merged after you left.
Yeah, you had like the flip phone.
Yeah, we had the
But,
yeah.
but look now we
Rob Quayle took
broadcasting,
mine, man.
and then we broadcasting from a cell phone, right?
Yeah.
So that's evolution to the point now where when the phone came out, you used to have that joint connected to something to have a car phone, and now we like broadcasting. So if you look at school and what we're learning, it hasn't evolved since. So that's the problem I have.
I mean,
Everything's evolving, but we're still teaching the same
thing.
stuff. We're teaching the same way,
Yeah.
but you expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. Is just doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
But if you think about it too, John, sometimes it's kind of beneficial to have that phone because maybe you can't get into the library and get on the computer. Maybe you can't, find a site that, the school's blocked because they don't want you to do this or go there. But
During
the
your
information
time,
is
yeah.
on here,
Yeah.
on this site. You know what I'm saying? And then, because, we come up, we used to get on the computer. We used to try to find, research, maybe Michelangelo's, art gallery or whatever.
And it took a minute.
We had to really find out some stuff. But
And the encyclopedias were getting faded out. Like nobody took a whole volume of books just to look through. Once we had internet, that AOL, that dial-up tone, that whole. You will never know the struggle. You will never know the struggle.
It threw out a lot of stuff though. But I'm also reading on some of this stuff that Race Bannon was saying to you, John. He was like, we're gonna try to see if we can get John back into the music with the positive aspects, show back to the youth as far as what is real versus all this stuff. And he said that's why I need John to come back to music so we can get these young people to think.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real stuff. And also, KO said, "What up?"
And tell them I said, "What up?
Yeah.
What up? What up?"
Yeah, everybody.
But you know what's crazy, man, is like when you look at like music, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you look at a platform, like y'all got a platform, you could be really doing some other stuff. I'm pretty sure y'all probably some crazy ideas what you could do with your radio show.
Oh yeah.
But you taking time away from really and restructuring it to give back to your people, and that's really what I do. Like,
I'm gonna define it for you as far as giving back. I look at everybody else with a talent, and I'm like, maybe I can put them on a slot on my radio, because I'm always open for it. My man's, shout out to DJ EQ. He really funding it right now for a lot of us. I was willing. I even brought the idea to him, and I was like, yo, I want to make sure that everybody who has a microphone can actually do a radio show, because we won't need JJS, and not nothing against 5100.
Nah, but I like that mindset though.
But
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because I was gonna bring a proposal to you. I was gonna bring a proposal to G Taylor. Shout out to G Taylor, because he was doing major things with his beats, and I was gonna have like him to do like a beat hour, and he may play some beats and talk about it, and may play some songs or whatever, and keep it moving. I wanted to build a schedule with everybody as far as designing somewhat of their art to be channeled through us.
Putting that content
So
out.
putting that content out, and then trying to produce
commercial-free content.
commercial-free, and not only that, but to produce and promote everybody through the radio, and as well as promote the station. Because when I look at it, we don't have a media outlet like that.
We don't?
We don't. We have JJS, and I found out JJS is pre-recorded. So that's pretty sour to me, because that's showing me.
And vibe to a certain extent is
Yeah, see, all your main radio syndication is gonna be pre-recorded. But like I said, I think it's good. Like, remember we talked before Wiz got here. Like, the fact that because think about it, if they would let us get on, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
No, we wouldn't.
Y'all wouldn't even be having this show. I would be. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that there's doors shut, it forces us to create opportunities.
Yeah.
And then we'll see other people like us, and we'll create opportunities. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a very good thing, because now brain starts churning. Yeah. Like, what can we do to really eliminate that? What can we do so we don't have to rely on that? And really, that's like that kingdom building. Yeah. Like I said, and then
shout out to Silence, yo. Shout out Rodeo.
Yeah, and that's just me, man. Like, yo, I hate the middleman.
Oh, yeah.
Part of me learning how to make beats, which I know you got to get different sounds, is I got tired of relying on other people or asking other people. Now, not to say that you need different sounds. I view music and making beats as like making food. Like, you need different spices, different whatever. Yeah. But at the same time, I'd rather have access to if I want to do something.
Right.
Like, instead of me calling like a cameraman all the time, I'm gonna just save up some bread. That way, when I want to do it, I can do it. It may not look like a professional cameraman, but I can do it.
You got your own equipment.
And I think that if we get to the point like to where, that's why I said to keep going, because to get to the point where you going to, a lot of people have to think like that. You see what I'm saying? Because we live in the no excuse, no BS age. So if you a painter, you an artist, there's no need complaining. They won't. Who is they? You got Instagram. You can start your own Instagram account. Yeah. Put your pictures on there. Get a following, auction them off, and go from 0 to like 100,000 a year off of that. Then you're gonna have people trying to come to you to advertise and really do like some promotional marketing for their products, paint brushes or whatever.
Right.
But I think that having that option where the doors closed is really good for us.
Yeah, but also we have to develop a market too. We have to. I mean, as far as who we trying to aim at. As far as and with the clear open, and I'm serious, with the clear open mind, right now, it's more of his age. It's not the age above him, and it's not near our age, and it's not our age or past. It's his age, because why? They're the come ups. They're gonna be the ones that's paying attention more.
Well, they use the technology, you know.
Yeah, they're using it. So to my mindset, it's like, how can I make them more interested in what I got going on? How can I make saying like him? How can I make you say, yo, can you tune into my people's station, man? They playing mixes, they playing all these songs, they playing all these rappers. They even play you if you send their music.
Right.
How could I get you to do that without knowing what you like or knowing how do you move? You know what I'm saying? It's different things far as the demographic.
They like real, like, so, and they're like, since I've been doing this and learning, like, and doing analytics from his demographic, right? So you seen with Facebook, Then you start getting Facebook Live, Instagram. Then you start getting Instagram Live and YouTube Live. So now you're getting stories. So what a lot of people like, even if you look at TV, you really can't name a sitcom like when we used to watch that has a long run. Because reality TV's taking over. So we live in what I call the reality age. So people love this behind the scenes. People love that more than they do cable television.
Yeah, scripted. So
Instagram stories, you know what I'm saying? Facebook stories, snaps, to where you're really getting a behind the scenes look at somebody's life. And that's what they really like. They don't really like they like the polished type of material, but that brings them to the polished material when you using their technology, like, yo, I'm gonna do this snap real quick, yo, I'm buying it, like, you think I should get the black Kobe's or the red one?
And
just
you know
10 seconds
what? The
snap.
attention span has changed.
Got you, but they demand that attention because in order to win in that social media game, you're really fighting for attention. But what I had to realize, I had to change. I'm not a selfie dude. I really don't like being in front of the camera. But I had to like really get on Snapchat, figure out like within the last 3 weeks, I figured out the Instagram stories and Facebook stories and try to download other apps and really get into the Snap game, and it's been working because I'm getting people that follow me now that's not even really from this region.
Yeah.
But
that's the plan.
had I not wanted to change and really invest time into learning it, like, yo, like, it's people that's really digging what I'm doing. California, Alaska, China, you know what I'm saying?
That's what
just based upon them, like, I'm doing, like, I'm at work and I go on break and I do a quick 50-second Instagram story, you know, like we had talked.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I was overthinking the content, like, yo, damn, I want to shoot a video, but I ain't got time to set the camera, do this. Yo, let's use the technology for what it is. But that generation, they love that behind the scenes and just being real.
So, to my understanding, with everything else, as far as that, you know, they've been living behind the scenes, and I like how you depict with the point of we had sitcoms that didn't last long. But as we grew to that point, to listening to these sitcoms or looking at them, you know, we decipher, all right, we know when the plot is getting ready to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We get ready to know when the climax is going to happen, because it's kind of watered down. It's like they took a bit
It's
piece.
kind of
You already know what's going to happen.
predictable. It's too
It's
predictable.
too predictable.
Yeah.
So that's why now, possibly now, you know, with live, you know, feeds and things, they don't know. They want to know. You know, they, as far as, yo, I need to know, because it's
But you
spontaneous.
really following that brand, like, so we are the brand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Live Mycole 5, you know, the Art of Reinvention Show, Teflon John, or whatever, right? So it's not really me that they follow. They follow the brand that I've created.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I could talk about ice cream if it's done right, and they'll listen to it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So they just want to know what y'all are doing. Like, you can really step away from the mic and be at the mall and just talk about, man, I'm about to buy this microphone. What do y'all think? Engage the comments. And really, and so that's what a lot of people don't realize too. Like, in order to build a following, you got to enact. So it's a lot of times I'm up to like, I'll lay in the bed from 10 to 11 just responding to every live comment.
Yeah.
Just playing with the algorithm to get that engagement. You know what I'm saying? But most people don't realize when we grew up, what was it, Fox, NBC? Okay. So if you look at it, people are consuming, like, he watches no cable TV. My daughter, no
Smart
cable
kid.
TV. You see what I'm saying?
Smart
But
kid.
I watch cable TV, right? But it's only certain shows, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't like it used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
So what's happening is, back in the day, the TV, like the radio, when the radio was on, you had a family turn on the little box, and they listening to the Lone Ranger. You know what I'm saying? Because there was no TV, and I bet somebody whispered, "Hey man, I know you on this radio thing hard, but I heard that they making this box that you're gonna be able to see people in, and if we don't step our game up, that joint gonna take over."
Yeah.
I'll make it out here with that. And then what happens is the television comes along,
And
the radio gets
stays
pushed to the
now.
side, right?
Exactly.
Same thing happening now. So like he told you, learn your history. History will repeat itself.
Yeah.
So now, television is being told, yo, these things that they're holding in their hand, that's where they're consuming the majority of their content from. So now Facebook is like the NBC, Instagram is like the CBS, Snapchat is like the Fox. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
YouTube is like whatever. But that's where everybody's consuming, to the point now where you can really cancel cable, get internet,
I find
and pay
myself
like
watching a lot more YouTube.
and pay $24 a month and just get 3 subscription services and watch everything you want. But the problem is, Shannon and Wiz, is like when you get to the point where you don't want to change. See what I'm saying? Like me, I love business, so I always wanted to go to school, be an entrepreneur. Went to CBCC, didn't finish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think all this is part of the process.
Yeah, we all been there.
I go back to when I used to go to Blockbuster. Everybody used to go to Blockbuster, Hollywood Video to rent, right?
Yeah.
So the crazy thing is when you do the research, and I'm gonna give you 2 examples of when companies refuse to change and evolve. So somebody at Blockbuster is like, yo, this joint coming, man. They're gonna be like, instead of coming in here and renting stuff, they're gonna be like, be able to hit a button and just stream it. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you need to go ahead and buy this joint called Netflix. It's coming.
Yeah.
The dude from Blockbuster passed on the deal.
Dumbest mistake of his life.
Where's the nearest Blockbuster?
Nowhere.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So
I think only one exists.
Blockbuster had the chance to buy Netflix, but didn't believe in the power of the future. You see what I'm saying? Toys R Us and Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Toys R Us treated Amazon like a joke. You know what I'm saying? It was just using them as warehousing, I think in
Amazon
2008, 2009. And then what happened was when Amazon took over, there was no need to go into stores anymore. Black Friday sales are declining in store because now the way people consume. So I said all that to really say this: in order to like really learn the market, we got to figure out how are they consuming content. So I spend a lot of time, like when I put up a live video, I use Facebook's tools. I go to analytics, and it'll show you what devices they're watching your stuff from, whether it's a computer, laptop, cell phone. They'll show you what regions, and then I craft my content around that, and I continue. But it was until I accepted the change because I wasn't going to evolve. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, like, what's this joint you on Snapchat? You know, nah, I ain't doing all that. Yeah. But now it's like, okay, I have to do that in order to win because now, think about it, in order for you to do this, back when we had the blackout days and everybody was rapping, right? We had to spend like 5,000 to 10,000 G's just to broadcast.
Yeah.
We did that by the touch of a button from my cell phone. That's how much times have changed. But I think now people don't want to do the research and study and trying to figure it out. And then it's like, you know, like Shannon said, they get frustrated, they quit. Yeah. Because they do it for like a week and it's like, man, this ain't popular. But it takes work, it takes effort. Like when people started to see, like when I was in the newspaper with us, I had been doing that for years. Before that little small accomplishment was even made. Like I was doing, like you go back to my YouTube, some of my videos was like ridiculous, low energy. I wouldn't look into the camera, but it was like, and he'll tell you like I was doing this job for years, where he was my #1 supporter. He was there like when I did the fitness class. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
I'm hauling kettlebells, and the next minute I'm doing a motivational video, and I would always get criticized when I'm doing too much. You remember? You're doing too much.
Right.
Less is more.
And I would never stop because I knew like, yo, if I figure this thing out, right, and dibble and dabble, I can learn something from every craft and then finally become the master of something.
Yeah.
But I realized that one thing feeds into the next.
Because what you're doing now, for those who just joining us on live, you know, we got Teflon John, his son, Teflon Void.
Yeah.
For those who just tuning in, for those that don't know John, he's also a physical trainer. He runs his own gym called Bulletproof Workouts. I've been actually watching a few videos. I'm trying to do something with my life as well. I hit them steps down to Monument Terrace, and I'm telling you, it's whipping my butt. But day 2 is in. I'm still in some pain, but I gotta push through. But anyway, back to John. You know, he's been doing bulletproof workouts. He's been doing motivational speaking. Every day you'll see something, you know, that you can relate to. You know, like he said, you know, who bending to the society. You know, just giving into what society wants you to do. He'll spend 2 minutes on that, and it's like, yo, I really felt that. And that's kind of what we need. We don't need people telling us, you know, more of the same. You know what I mean? We need someone to say, no, don't do that. Go above, beyond, and don't think about anybody else. Just do what you do. And when you said you started, you wouldn't look into the camera. You really didn't want to do the whole live thing. That's how, you know, live started here.
Yeah.
Was when I told Wiz, I said, look, I just want to do an audio broadcast, clean it up, EQ it. Like you said, I had Fruity Loops. I got all that. And post it. He said, well, you know, people would engage more if you went live. I said, man, I really don't have the confidence for that. He said, trust me, once we get to talking about these topics and getting into things, they're going to want to engage. They're not going to care what you got on. Your hair could
Yeah.
be messed up, but they're not going to care because they hear the content that you're putting out. It's going on tomorrow. It's our first year anniversary. We've accomplished a lot. We've had a lot of guests. Yeah, thank you. And, you know, we hope to keep going. You know, we look for our people to kind of engage with us.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what they want us, you know, to talk about. Give us topics. Send music, you know, different kinds of music.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, there is no playlist after the show, so after the live goes off,
It's just going off.
It's just going off. I didn't have time to pull it up because I was rushing, prepping for the show.
Hey,
So
we
there's no
give no
playlist today.
explanations, baby. You just tune in,
Oh,
just
what's
be loyal.
going on here? What's
I'm
what's
over
this?
here, Instagram Live and
Oh.
too, so you know what I'm
What's
saying.
up, Instagram Live?
You know, people
But,
that's all over.
But yeah, when we started live, I just thought it was going to be us two talking and just randomly, just blah, blah.
Yeah.
Just like a podcast.
It's like a podcast, and
Yeah.
just talk. But then I was like, you know what? We need to get more into the artist.
Yeah.
Find out more about the artist. Because his music is one thing, but his story and how he come up is another.
Mm-hmm.
And other people need to hear that. For those who, you know, maybe like Rory, he's 13 and might say, oh, well, maybe I might want to try rapping, you know, this might be. So you look at your older rappers and say, oh, they went through this, they went through that, and look how successful they are. That was, well, I wouldn't expect that here, but that was kind of the goal, to get other people, like you say, to tell their story and why they do what they do, what their goal was. We had a couple of young guys here, Peasy and Ramo, you know, they're young, so their thing is, you know, we trying to be millionaires, we trying to be big stars. Okay, that's cool. That's one story. So what do you hope to do when you make it off the rap game? Well, you know, I want to run my own studio. I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I can ask someone as young as him, well, what do you plan on doing? He said he wants to be a chemist. That's brilliant.
Yeah. You're not going to hear that many young black males
You would
say that.
never
Yeah.
hear that.
You're not going to hear that.
And that shows me, that further shows me the type of parent that you are by teaching him, like, look, rapping is cool, that's cool and all, but you need to find something to fall back on. Because football may not work, you might get hurt.
And that's
know.
that's real. Because I think it's all about exposure. I remember when we was in I think it was biology. We had to grow a plant or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they said this thing called phototropism is like you can have a plant here, but it'll lean and grow towards the light.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times as young African American, males and females, they lean and gravitate towards what they think they need
Right.
because they haven't been exposed to anything else. So that's why I drug him with me today. Like he was like eager to come.
You heard that he
Yeah.
drug you here. You had no idea he drug you
You know what
here.
I'm saying? But he was eager to come. Like it was one night. Cause see me, I try to keep that family dynamic. So part of the I Am Teflon John is showing the family dynamic because you don't see that amongst black families on TV.
Rob Davis said, what up?
Oh, tell them I said what up. So like when it comes to like VH1 and everything, they portray the black woman and the black male like crazy. So you don't see black families. You know what I'm saying?
You don't.
Unless you're watching Blackish, that's it.
And even then, that's like the Cosby's. To me, the Cosby wasn't relatable because
but it wasn't a real depiction.
It ain't like Family Matters, you know what I'm saying? To where they explaining real black issues.
Yeah.
I mean, Blackish, I thought it was just gonna be like a funny sitcom, but they really explained black issues.
Like the one episode where Eddie got pulled over by the police and he went and told Carl, and Carl went off at the police officer.
Oh,
that is still relevant today.
And even down to the Fresh Prince. I mean, he went through that, you know.
That and his father, he grew up without his father, and then his father comes into his life.
Yeah. And then he had to explain the upper class black person's mindset versus the lower class, which was Will. And Will had a situation where they was I think they was getting some money out of ATM or something.
Yeah.
Remember when
Him
and Carlton, and Carlton's last resort was I had to get a gun and shoot back.
Right.
And he was like, no, man, because that's where I come from. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, and that's real.
And he's not about that life.
Yeah, that's
Carlton
not about
was
that.
wealthy.
Like he would never want to be a chemist or whatever if he seen me do other stuff.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like with me, like all the live videos that I do, people's like, yo, man, I know you busy now. I include my family and everything.
Right.
Like and he'll tell you like we just like I'm gonna go live, yo. You know, you want to get on? He's like, sure. And we got on that joint, we went live, because I want him to be a part of that, to expose him to different, like he's seen me do a lot of different stuff, to the points where I'll involve my wife, or asking her different questions, just to keep them involved. But if I expose them to all this stuff, who knows that I'm not telling you what you have to do, but I'm giving you all these options, telling you how to meet people, how like Jay-Z said, I'll show you how to maneuver in a room full of vultures. So it's like, you can't be a certain way because it's cool. Like it's times you be like he'll ask me like, Dad, why didn't you say this? You can't say that right now.
But as you get on that topic, I would like to hop up on this topic about like the depression and the like the drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As you say, like how plants lean to the light, upcoming rappers like to lean to the drug side because it makes them look cool.
Right.
Eggs, lean, like all kinds of like drugs like that.
Uh-huh.
It's practically like the new age, as I say. Lil Peep overdose, like rest in peace.
Yeah.
But with X, he was personally my favorite artist.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I felt like I connected on him like with a different level, and I saw him changing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Lil Uzi, people like that, they stay to one thing, and that's the drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs are like the escape. Drugs are like the money. Drugs how they get their viewers.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's where I go on talking about the suicide note. It's a new thing. Like people, like school shootings. People. Not only is school shootings horrible, but people that got bullied are the new school shooters.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, this is the thing that it gets me, yo, because like I was a victim of bullying. Just being bullied and all, because
Same here.
I'm light skinned, and well, you think you all that, and oh, you white. I'm like, yo, what the hell? I got black friends. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dang, man, is it that bad? But as I got older, like being in high school, and it was kind of still going on, but I would never let it stop me from what I'm doing or make me resort to, I need to kill myself, or let me just end it all. I even had comebacks. Like when somebody used to talk about, oh yeah, yo, your mama so da da da, I always had a comeback. I would never let that stop me, because you're not gonna, cage me. Mm-hmm. I'm not a bird, you know what I'm saying? I'm a human being for one. I'm gonna go out here and do what I want to do. So at the end of the day, you just gonna just keep talking. Like my mama always told me, you leave a crazy person in the room, all they gonna do is talk to yourself.
Yep.
You can't argue with a crazy person, right?
She ain't lying.
She ain't lying. So it's just some real stuff. You just gotta know, as youth, and I'm speaking to you personally, whenever you feel like you are against the odds, your back is against the wall, nobody is there for you, nobody supports you. You are only you because why? You came in this world alone. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You came in this world alone, you're gonna leave alone. Ain't nobody gonna leave with you. All them thousands of followers is not gonna leave with you. They're like, oh yeah, well, he was a good person. They crying and mourning and stuff. At the end of the day, the attention span, right, is short. So they gonna say that, and then they gone. For about a week. What about X? Look how X, his whole legacy,
all that
love, and do you hear them still to this day saying anything about him?
No.
Exactly. But Tupac,
because they were all rest in peace in him up for the moment. It was a moment.
So let's say Tupac, man. Tupac is in our era.
Mm-hmm.
We still got people to this day. Oh yeah, Tupac was revolutionary, man. People still alive, man.
Mm-hmm.
People still feel that.
Yeah.
So, to you, as a youth, make sure you stay positive. Make sure you make stuff that feels for people. Whether you get into pharmaceuticals, chemicals, whatever. Make sure that still relates to the common people. Don't just sit up here. I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but just don't sit up here and act like, well, I'm just depressed, man. I just can't do it. I just want to end it all. Maybe little Pete was right, man. Life on law. Listen, cut that.
But the thing about it is like, the thing that gave the X that he was changing. Yeah. Okay, so 17, hands down one of my favorite albums. Not because like he was depressed at that point. It was because I felt like I related like on a certain level at that point. Yeah. But as he go on, but before when X first started, it was screaming, wilding out, getting to get jail,
fights,
locked up,
We got the legendary Rob Davis.
But
on the live, if I can hear him. What up, bro? Let me turn you up.
You on it?
Rob. I can't hear you, B. You might need to turn your joint up.
Must need an earpiece.
Yeah, something. Anyway, he said he can't hear me. I don't even know how you work this joint off the Instagram.
Lord.
I know, man. I'm trying to talk to you at the same time, man. Hey, just vibe with us, man. We still here though. Just vibe with us.
But you were saying about X's album. You say you related to the album.
Hey, I felt like I related on it to a certain level, to the point where I really liked it. But
let me get back with you, Rob. Hold on, bro.
But the year went on, and that's when it was like the album. It was just like a question mark.
Mm-hmm.
It was positivity. It was like all genres. So it was positivity, R&B, rock. It was just like screamo. It was just all kinds of stuff into that one thing. And there was the one song, Hope. It was the shooting down inside Florida. Was it Florida?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was dedicated to the kids that passed away. And he said, I think it's since you're physically not on this earth, you're still right beside me. And I felt that because my grandma passed away last year.
Year.
And I like everything that I do it in her name.
Right.
So that's why I feel like I feel like close to X, stuff like that.
Okay.
And a lot of people, kind of relate to him. I try to keep an open ear and try to listen to his music. So, there's some, your age and a little older, I'll say, maybe early 20s, who really vibed and gave me that same explanation. I mean, it's just, people relate different ways, and it's just so, it's sad that he used it's kind of sad that he used his depression not to gain any type of, poor him, but he used that as a positive outlet to try to let kids know, like, look, you can be depressed and still live your life. You just gotta know how to fight through it, and this, that, and the third.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you, I hate to be like different on a lot of cases, because I mean, depression is depression.
Yeah.
But life is life. You only get it once. You know what I'm saying? And like I always said, man, we lived through a depressing time anyway, just being black. Mm-hmm. Regardless of the fact, if you look at it as, I'm out here trying to do something positive, somebody in the world is still going to try to bring you down. Somewhere, mm-hmm. Some shape, yo. So you as a person to say internally, I'm depressed, can't be real. I'm just saying for my aspect, because as I'm being older, I couldn't use depression as an excuse. You got to live your life, you know what I'm saying? As far as, people death and families, that's depressing, right? Yeah. So that's real depression. Yeah. That's something that affects you, not something like, my life ain't going right now, man. I ain't got nothing going for myself. Don't feel like that. That everything takes time, man. You got authors writing books at 39 down to 50. You got actors out here acting at age 82. So time waits for no man, but your time ain't now. So that's how I always feel with everything that I do, and that's why I'm like, again, preaching to you, as far as the youth, don't ever let, depression make you feel like you just out of it, you know what I'm saying? Because it will consume you. Yeah. Just like it did X, just like it did Lil Peep, because Lil Peep was battling, bisexuality and all this different stuff, because I researched him too. And I was like, this man is actually talented just to listen to him, mm-hmm. but he was never marketed to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't meant for us.
It was meant for us, but at the same time, we gotta be like Teflon John said. We gotta be different. We gotta grow and and learn from this.
And see, a lot of that is, I think the root of depression is self-awareness, man. Because I went through a big bout of it. Like he'll tell you, I was like 210 solid when I was training, and I hurt my back. You know what I'm saying? So when I hurt my back, I ended up finding something that I was born with called spinal stenosis, and it reshaped my whole life. You know what I mean? Like, but the problem was when the depression set in. I had been doing personal training, like 4.5, 5 years at that point. So my whole identity, everything that I identified myself with was John the trainer. Mm-hmm. So when this went out, now I'm forced to sit down and say, okay, who are you? So the fact of the matter is, like, I mixed who I was with what I did. It's kind of like Michael Jackson. I'm pretty sure he suffered it, because when you say who was Michael Jackson, they'll say the greatest singer, greatest entertainer. No, that's what he did. That's not who he was.
Yeah.
And it's got to be depressing to the point where you realize, yo, they only feel me because of what I do. Okay, I don't even know who I am. You feel me? So I think now,
like identity.
Like if you look at social media, you got 20,000 plus followers, money coming in, and it's always a question where you feel like, yo, are they really feeling me because of who I am? And then it's like the pressure that all these guys going through as artists now to hold this certain lifestyle in front of these kids, to hold this certain lifestyle. Like, you know, it's crazy. Like when I look at the Nicki Minaj, Cardi B thing, and I look at it, you in two different lanes. One, you write. One is just an artist. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is for them to even compare themselves to each other. Like Nicki jumped off the boat for a little bit to try to change her whole game to match Cardi B a little bit. Then she probably realized. But the fact of the matter is, like, knowing who you are at any given moment in life will help you battle depression. Because it's easy for me to become depressed. Because you know what? It's when it comes to self-awareness, if I don't know who I am, it's easy for you to tell me who I am. And then I have to believe that. Yeah, because you know what I'm saying? Like, if you a king, you should dress like a king. You should wear, you know what I'm saying, the joint, the crown. You should sit where a king sits. There's no way if you're a king, you're out here fighting in war, because he's got the army for that. You know what I'm saying? A king doesn't chill with the peasants.
Right.
This is not how it works. But what happens is, in our culture, so y'all, you know what I'm saying, everybody's built up their brand that they're following up to this point. You see what I'm saying? And now one heckler that's down here, it's like, yo, I'm trying to make it to a Wiz, John, and all them, man, they've been grinding for years. But I'm not climbing up there, so I'm going to get them to come down. So now what happens is, now we feel like, now self-awareness, I don't care what you call me. You can call me out my name, whatever. I don't have to respond to that. What happens with a like self-awareness issue, you got somebody, you ever seen two people get into a confrontation like, yo, what was she doing with them anyway? Because they didn't know who they were, and they felt like they had to prove it to them. Right. For what? You know what I'm saying? Like I tell kids on the football team when I coach, he'll tell you, you got all this talent in the world. This dude ain't going nowhere. What are you even doing having a conversation with him? Right. If you know you're good and you know that you're not what he says. And I think now, instead of them doing that, these kids on social media, they feel like they got to prove everything to everybody, and they can't keep up with it, and they just crumble under that pressure.
Because nobody's ever satisfied with everything.
Yeah.
You gotta keep doing more. You gotta keep doing more.
And yeah, because I can kind of relate on that too. Because even now to this point, I used to question myself as far as my accountability of my DJing, as far as, you know, doing parties, putting my name out there more and things like that. Because then I get to thinking, you know, like, dang, you know, this dude, he doing a lot. You know, shout out to my cousin Purple Haze, because, you know, we always inspire each other. But, you know, I always congratulate my cousin, you know what I'm saying, for one. Because he is out there doing everything that I was doing back when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I still be like, well, let me throw my name back out there and see what it do. You know, most of the time I get, well, you know, I didn't know you still DJ. And I'm like, what? Wow. I'm like scratching my head like, damn, you know, I got the top 10, 11 mixtape nationwide and you didn't know? So it makes me wonder. I used to think like that too, you know, get you know, in that little zone and oh, yo, well, maybe I'm washed up and stuff like that. Then I get to thinking again, nah, that's not me.
Yeah, it is like, you know, and then it's like those society standards. Like my cousin Rashad Jennings, yo, like my hat goes off to him. Yeah. Because he's like one of the oldest running backs in the NFL. Like normally they say with 29, 30 years, you know, 29, 30 years old, you washed up. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I think he made it to 32, 33 years old. But the thing is, who sets this standard? And see what happens is when people set standards, right? Well, if you ain't got this by the age of 30, yo, then you washed up. Yeah. Yeah. So then what happens is
they say that.
So what happens is you accept that behavior, right? Age 30 hits, then you quit because they said. Yeah. Who is they? You know what I'm saying? And I think once we reach that reality to the point where those are society set standards, you know, like you said, people writing books at age 39, 40, acting at age 50. So it's like you don't have to succumb to the pressure what they say. Because I remember just thinking like when I didn't finish school, and I'm thinking like, well, this is the age you're supposed to finish school by. That's that program thinking I was talking about earlier. Because you'll get depressed.
Graduated by 18, graduated out of college by 24,
and
married
you get depressed
25.
because you feel like you're behind. But when you look at it, yo, you have a long life ahead of you, man. As long as you take care of yourself.
Yo, speaking of that, y'all know the comedian Lil Duval, right?
Yeah.
You know, he was always in, you know, around the top comedians. He was always around the popular artists and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He still kept his grind. At the age of 41, he just signed his first deal with Empire Records. He got a single out with Snoop Dogg and Paul Greasy called "Living My Best Life." Smile, beat, you know, because you know how his whole
he knows
thing.
he knows.
You know the joint.
Yeah, I know something.
Okay, yeah. All right. That's what really shocked me, right there when he said, "Don't ever let nobody stop your grind." I'm at the age of 41 and I just signed my first deal and I ain't even tried.
And now that you're on that subject, I'm glad you went there. Because there's so many people out here on Facebook, some that we talk to on an everyday basis, and they always say if you reach, I don't know, what's a good ripe old age to stop rapping. If you're 30 and you still rapping, you need to hang it up. If you're 34, you have no business picking up a mic. You say that. Because you're 22 and young, trying to push me out the way.
But if you look at it like this, they're trying to stop you because you're more competition. See, it ain't like when we came up, we accepted the competition.
Right.
So to them, they feel like you a threat. You a threat to the marketing. You a threat to promotion. Because that's all I'm gonna see is your stuff.
And, the fact
and they
that
don't want to see it.
And the fact that I'm older, I'm cemented, I'm invested.
Yeah.
So they're gonna gravitate towards me anyway because I'm older.
So that's why like I don't really diss the younger crowd, but I distance myself from it because you would get consumed in that. You get consumed in that nonsense. You get consumed in all that hate, you know, and all that. So some people are like, yeah, I like your stuff, yo. I just heard your mixtape. You know, I take the congratulations. But then I don't let it bubble my head up. Oh yeah, you know I'm the best thing in Lynchburg. No, no. I mean, 17 mixtapes. I mean, 15 plus mixtapes plus all the DJ mixtapes I did plus hosting it. I'm well worth over 80 some of mixtapes that I've done. And still counting to this day. I just released the last joint. Shout out to my man Too Much, man. He just released his joint called I Freestyle Too Much. It's on Spinrilla and my mixtapes. I did a quick promotion for him real quick. But you know, I just try to do stuff a lot different, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you've been really seeing what I've been trying to pick. And it's funny because people be like, yo, you messing with a lot of white rappers now. It's different.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear that.
It's different.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that when you know niggas struggling, we on food stamps and my mama had to die. Listen, man, they ain't even talking about that right now.
Yeah,
like my man talking about backwoods and the parties, country life. And you know,
like I said, they're not studying the demographic. Like when you do music, right? So it's a lot of people that still doing music the same way that people did music like back when I had Black Ops. So if I ever revamp Black Op, you know what I'm saying, which could come or could not.
I'm on your back. It's coming.
So look, so check this
out. No, it's gonna happen. Ray Spannon is he buzzing him too, so we gonna do it.
It will be a whole different vibe. You know what I mean? Like what is this season right now? Was it summer?
Summer.
And what fall's coming?
Yeah, fall is the best time.
So what do you wear during summer?
Tank top, shorts.
Okay, so coming in December 29th, if you in tank tops and shorts outside, you crazy, right?
Yeah.
So you got to adapt to the season change. So if I did music now, it would be like taking off a mink coat because spring's approaching and getting into a whole new game. And I think most artists. So like when I tell them like, yo, look at the pyramid, like when you climb in the pyramid or like when when I'm personal training somebody. This if once you start like this is the worst that your body should be. You see what I'm saying? So when you come in rapping, the goal ain't to rap your whole life. That just ain't the goal.
No.
Most directors that are directing movies now start off as actors, start off as camera crew. Yeah. So I think when most people get in, they don't even think about the other side. Like you know what? Instead of like look at Magic Johnson, owning the team, president of the team. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at it to the point where it's like there's an end game. Like my cousin Rashad was smart. He didn't spend a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Millionaire. But he had an end game, writing books, hosting sports television shows, he was on the episode of Power, being on Nickelodeon. You see what I'm saying? So you can't really be in whatever you're in now. Like even now, like one of my ultimate visions would be, well, I ain't got to get on camera. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like to where the point where I can just have a avenue that'll generate income for me, but give other people, some opportunity to put out their content.
Yeah.
But what's sad is what makes me cry. If somebody great as Muhammad Ali, I'm gonna kind of relate this to what we've been talking. Seeing Muhammad Ali get kicked in the head. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you remember when he had to come out of retirement and fight it's like some karate master or whatever. He had to fight him in the ring. He took that fight afterwards. It's like a little spoof fight or whatever, like an exhibition fight to get money. So what I'm saying is, if you in the game now, people talk about Floyd, but Floyd had the end game in mind. Do what you gotta do so you ain't gotta go back and do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't wanna just, I gotta go put out an album, go on tour because I'm broke. Nah, you should invest in the craft to the point and learn the business of it, to where you start investing in other things. So when people say, yo, like, hey, what is 50 getting vitamin water for? What is Jay-Z getting in 40 clubs for? Let them talk about you. Because you got the end game in mind. So when you say, you know what, I'm done with rap, I'm done, but I got money coming in from another avenue.
And that's like Kobe Bryant, even though he, I just read this a couple days ago, even though he's retired from basketball, he had invested in body armor drinks, the little, which are very good because I drink those. And now his portion of the stock is worth well over, what's it, $2 million?
Yeah, look at LeBron James. He walked into Chipotle and was like, yo, this would be good if it was pizza.
Yeah.
And he got Blaze Pizza. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's never like, okay, I'm this good. Like, you have to be a one-dimensional thinker. And that's just not me. So a lot of times I got, like, it's only a couple people, a handful of people I'll talk to about some stuff that I got going on up in here.
Yeah.
Because they'll shoot it down. And I'm thinking like, yo, I can do this, get this done. Because you want to have that option of freedom to where you put your work in and now your work is working for you. Now we get the residual income. So where now you got the radio station, you know what I'm saying, whatever y'all choose to call it. And now you're making money off the advertising dollars. You're making money off the marketing dollars. And now the guys are running it. You just drop in when you want to. But to say, man, I would love to go to the Bahamas for 2 weeks, man, but I got to do them shows. Now, you don't have to do that. I've already paid. See, everything I'm doing now paved the ground for now. When I want to bounce for 2 weeks, then I can do that, and my company still runs afloat because I've invested in the next. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the part of like branding that people have. Like you have to understand. My goal isn't just to be behind the camera. Steve Harvey started off telling jokes, and look at him now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So the end goal is like, when it comes to investments in stocks, yeah, that's true, we talk, but you are the number one investment. If you can't invest in yourself, like I'm looking at y'all had a 5th microphone, looking at a mixer, a computer, a monitor. I'm looking at I didn't even see them joints, the Rocket monitors, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at money spent in order to get your craft out to people. And then I'm seeing stuff where like people don't want to pay to get on or whatever. Like, keep doing what you're doing, stay focused, set a standard and keep it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, somebody's got to pay for something. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like I said, like as time goes on, you know what I'm saying, you'll be able to maneuver and start monetizing like your actual craft. You know what I'm saying? Because you invested in yourself. See, if you don't believe in you, I can't expect for him to. For him to believe in me, like it would have to be something other than me just being his dad, to where he would want to come or felt like going, or let me go to your fitness class with you, whatever. It's something that he sees, and sometimes it's stuff that he sees that I don't. Yeah. Cause I could be at a low point, like, man, this joint ain't working. I've been doing this, but the fact that he's there and like, yo, he's seeing something.
He observing everything.
You know what I'm saying? Like a bamboo stick grows 5 years underground before it sprouts through the earth. 5 years. But they religiously water the joint. Religiously water the joint. Religiously water the joint. You know what I'm saying? Because people can tell a lot about your belief by your action. I can say I believe in anything. I can say, well, yeah, I'll be the next Barbara Walters, right? Say that, but my action should show. John should be grinding doing them shows. John should be grinding doing this. So I think we fall in love with a superficial age of social media where it's cool to look like you're doing something. And I think with his generation.
Boy, I hope y'all tuned in on that point.
Yeah, because with his generation, it's cool. Like you can take a picture, and we can take a picture right now, doll that joint up, and I'm serious, somebody's watching this live, yo. They're getting depressed because they feel like, I want to be where them guys at, and not even realizing we got struggles too.
Yeah.
But you're looking at a snapshot of our life.
All the time.
You see what I'm saying? I still got a regular job. I still got, you know what I'm saying, things that I got to do.
Y'all got parenthood to deal with.
But don't compare yourself to other people, man, because when you compare yourself to people, different lifestyles, people got different goals, different visions, and different motives. You know what I'm saying? Some people are doing what y'all are doing just to be seen. They don't care about the people. They don't care about the artists. They don't care about the craft.
Just to say that they're doing it.
Some people are doing what I'm doing just to exploit people. Like, all right, so let me tell you this.
Right.
If I didn't care about people, I could do a show. I just exploit the you know what out of people. Well, I just pop up on the scene. Oh boy got shot. Pretend like I care about the family. Do interviews and get crazy 100,000 of views because that's what people into now. I've peeped game and really looked at the market. Like that's where the views are coming from. Somebody's fighting, I can show up, record the fight or whatever, be on like some cheaters world, but that's not me.
Yeah.
My motives are to help the people, so I want to come different. You know what I mean? But I think some people, they look at what they want to do, and if this is you, like it's so different, continue down that path because somebody's got to be the first one to do it.
Right.
Like if you ever been in a cornfield, it's like nothing but stalks around. Somebody got to blaze that path. Now it may cut you, it may itch you, or whatever. You may get bit up. But it makes it easier for this person coming down the path that you blaze. You see what I'm saying? You'll feel better doing it, being a trailblazer. But I think so many people are afraid to take the risk because they're afraid what they will say. Well, whoever they are.
Well, I think it's also more not afraid of taking the risk, but they know right then and there in their mind they're getting blocked. Then, like you said, it's that program mentality. Just like I tell everybody, you can have a nightclub, you can have a shop, you can have a restaurant, you can do this, you can do that. It's just following the guidelines of the city code and ordinance. No, you know, Liberty gonna be in the way of this, and Liberty gonna shut down this and that. Prime example, we had Derek Polly on our show.
Shout out to Derek Polly.
And when we had Derek Polly on the show, I mean, he was just real down to earth type guy. You know, he was from Texas. I didn't know. You know, and he did a whole lot of accomplishments to where he had talked about the awards and the things that he had got congratulated on. But he just didn't get why other folks from here didn't ever do what he had done. And you're from here.
And even more so, you had someone like getting mad at the fact that he wasn't from here doing it.
And you seen that. So we're not going to call his name out because we talked personally on that.
And we all know,
and that shows a prime example, though.
And here's the thing, though. I understand the duality of that. I understand Derek, you know what I'm saying, from his point, and I understand old boy. But I think doing what I've been doing for the last year, like, even though I don't agree with the way you feel, I must understand it in order to learn.
Right.
And it's like you said, learn behavior. That's all he's seeing.
And I sat down
stepping up.
And I sat down personally with them.
Yeah.
With I'm just gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? We sat down personally with him, and I talked to him, and I said, well, what was your angle as far as why did you attack him? He was like, well, if you think about it, it's the house nigga versus the field nigga. Now, I'm a field nigga because I'm out here. Excuse my language. But he said, I'm out here. I'm out here grinding. I'm out here trying to progress. I'm out here trying to gain the youth, trying to teach the youth, this, that, and the third. And this house nigga, to what I see, is gaining all the glory. I don't understand why. I said, well, look, let's go about your background. Let's go about the integrity, your mindset.
Derek, he don't have a clean background either. Like as far as
neither one of them do. Right, neither one of them do.
So I think it's the assumption we're not knowing.
But like the person that me and you were talking about now,
we
know him. We knew how his mindset was in school. We knew how he just didn't want to, grow and learn. So that's why I told him. I said, that's your problem right there. You don't want to learn that.
Yeah, and I think Derek me and Derek worked with each other for like 10 years. So I think the part is, like I said, going back to the X-Men reference, Derek became a mutant, and nobody's not going to understand. Nobody's going to understand that. Right. If you put 30 random black men in a room from Lynchburg, And like if they hear him say, I want to be a chemist right now.
Yeah, screw faces.
Like, yo, you a square. You know what I'm saying? Or they hear a politician, let's get this money. That's the mentality. So I don't expect them to understand Derek's move. But here's the thing though, like I said, with complaining about an issue and actually doing something like, Derek was trying to do what we don't know because we don't have the back knowledge on how local elections can affect what we want.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't have the back knowledge in that. So it was like almost like a gap of ignorance to where we don't know. It's like when we did music, it's like we were ignorant too. We didn't know the business.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it really screwed us. So we'll assume. But I think I understand why he felt the way he felt because of where he came from and who he was. And I understand why Derek felt the way he felt. But I just think it's sad that it shows the lack of exposure in Lynchburg. We not, like I said, you don't go out, you go over here, like you live in Rivermont or whatever, you're not gonna go out and walk 2 doors down and yo, my dad's a politician. Well, my dad's a fireman, my dad's a doctor. We're not exposed to that.
Yeah.
Right.
And you go on there 15 minutes down the road to Boonesboro, different story.
But see, my thing is with the person that,
Yeah, that was crazy.
Because it bothered me too.
What he failed to realize was Derek is just like the rest of us.
Yeah,
he just come from another place.
Derek took the risk because, like I said, nobody wants to take the. Derek took the risk.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, man. I remember when I got him, I was like, how can I help my man out? So I used my platform to try to help him out. I was donating money on the joint online or whatever. But I felt like, he's taking the risk because at that point, it's a lot of sacrifice and time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he could have been doing other things, really.
Like smiling right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He really can be doing other things, but I think the mere fact that he wanted to give up some of his life to be a politician and help us out, and then I don't think people are hearing the financial literacy was one of his main things that he wanted to campaign. Like we talked about, we would know now he's trying to put together a program to teach us about investing money, the value of money. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, me. At this stage in the game, like somebody control me like that. It's just I'm not gonna respond because I know, like depending on where you looking at, you know what I'm saying. Like we got 4 different cameras, they got 4 different angles. So if you tell this camera that camera seeing something different, it's a different angle.
Yeah.
But I just think that it's up for us to just understand. Like, okay, why did my man feel like that? Okay, I see. Like I don't agree with it. I see. But like I said, I think it's sad that we don't recognize when somebody's actually taking a step up. And then that goes back to slave mentality.
Exactly.
If I can't get out this bucket, you better get back in. We crabs.
Yeah, speaking of that, my pops always used to say that too, crabs are always going to pull you down. It's like crabs in a bucket. So, you got the mentality of a crab.
Yeah, and not calling him a crab. I'm just saying, like, even to the point to where people will see, like, somebody get promoted. You know what I'm saying? It's like, instead of having something positive say, or a crab in a bucket type of mentality, when somebody pull up in a nice vehicle, what he selling?
Right.
That's the first
Why he
thing.
gotta have it? He could have a nice job. He could actually did wise with his money. So I just think us as a people, so much stuff will divide us, man. You know what I mean? And it's like,
that's a shame.
You control me or whatever. Like, you have the right to your opinion.
Yeah.
And that's just what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What up, man? Yeah, you have the right to your opinion, and that's just what it's gonna be. You know what I mean?
He went away too.
All right. But
shout out to everybody who just peeked in.
We're gonna come and wrap this up almost. To the point, we can get into this all day with you.
Yeah.
You know
y'all love to come back, but I'm gonna get y'all on as well, man. If I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I would love to come back, man. So y'all let me know. But great conversation, great people.
No doubt. So, like I said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We had Teflon John in the building. We might get him back some other time soon.
Oh, yeah.
So, y'all stay tuned to us.
But I thank y'all for tuning in with us, man. We had a very informational, conversation. I hope you guys learned a lot. I certainly enjoyed talking with you.
Like I said.
And thank you as well for coming in and giving us your 13-year-old point of view. Because sometimes we need, it's better to get a different perspective from a child's eyes. Exactly. Because they see different from what we see.
And like I said, John, if you want to go ahead and give your shout outs and direct everybody to your links or whatever.
Oh yeah, shout out to my family first of all, man. I thank God for all the opportunities. You know what I'm saying? I like to thank God for you all too, man, for what y'all doing.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, you can hit me up Instagram, Snapchat, I am Teflon John. Twitter, Real Teflon John. Facebook, facebook.com/I am Teflon John or Teflon John. My website, www.IamTeflonJohn. And like I said, all I want to do is try to change the world one person at a time by provoking thought. I don't want to make you do anything. I just want to make you think. And if you can think, then you can kind of reconsider some of the situations that we as a community or we as a people in general or we as human beings have been making for years. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's just try to make that change. Like I said, I appreciate you guys, what y'all doing.
No doubt.
Happy anniversary.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, just keep pushing.
And we want to thank everybody who has been a guest on our show. We've had, he will be our 25th guest. So we thank everybody who's come through and kicked it with us.
I said it all first now.
No, he did set it off first. August 20th, 2017, he was my first guy. You know, he was my first guest and turned into my co-host because he knew he was going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But, you know, we thank everybody, you know, that tunes in with us every Sunday or whenever they can.
And Teflon, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to end up buzzing you a whole lot because everybody wants to do business now. Shout out to KO. Caleb Penny said straight up, said, yo, me, you, and Teflon need to link now. My cousin Race Bannon, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tony Saunders, man. He told me, yo, straight up, we need to get together. So, bro, whenever you set some time, I'm going to inbox you. We're going to have the group chats and all that jumping.
Right.
So, we're going to really discuss a lot of plans. So, we got to wake the city up, everybody.
Yeah.
But like I said, live from 805 with your boy DJ Wiz 759.
Oh yeah, check my son out, man. Next week, next Thursday at Sandusky at 5 o'clock, man. Appomattox Middle School.
Okay.
He's playing at Sandusky.
No, come back.
No, show your face. Tell them folks, man.
What's your position? What you play?
QB.
QB.
Okay, Vic. Come on.
All right, look. When you get on your Facebook, share this live. Tell them folks to, you know, tune in to you. We might bring you back up here. Talk about the game. We need it. We ain't got no athletic person to come through, but now you. Come on, man.
Yeah,
You the youngest.
Yeah, we'll bring him back.
You the future, man.
Yeah, just let me know.
Real talk.
And also rest in peace to the late great Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm hurt. BET, VH1, Lifetime, LMN, all of y'all, don't do it.
Don't
Wendy Williams, do not do it.
She don't touch nothing.
Cause y'all done messed up Aaliyah, God rest her soul. You messed up Left Eye and TLC, God rest her soul. Y'all done messed up Pebbles. Y'all done messed up. Y'all don't need to.
Pebbles?
The whole TLC thing with Pebbles.
Oh, Lord.
They done messed it all.
Word? Screwed up Pop too.
They messed up Tupac.
Kinda. Oh, with the biopic or the movie?
The movie.
Both.
Oh, yeah, well.
Do not do it.
They
You
only
touch
did
Aretha,
Biggie right though, right?
You touch Aretha, we're going to have issues. But anyway, want to thank everybody for tuning in with us. We'll see you guys next week. Like I said, I don't have a playlist up, so we'll see you guys next Sunday. I forgot who we got.
We got somebody.
We got somebody, but we're going to be here next Sunday. We thank y'all for tuning in. We out.
Deuces.
Appreciate that, man.
No doubt.